The faithful are asleep in their beds, dreaming so sweetly of moving on to day two. But there's no sleep for the traitors as their game truly begins. The first murder must take place. Who will they target and how will they work together once they come face to face with their fellow deceivers? Let's find out who the traitors are for season two. Hello, traitor.
Hello.
Congratulations on being selected as one of our starting traders of the game.
Wow, I am totally in shock. I never suspected to be picked first for a traitor.
Well, before we do anything, I need you to take the trader's oath.
Okay,
So, do you promise to lie and deceive through the entire game?
absolutely.
Are you willing to murder a fellow player every night?
Anytime.
And do you vow to keep your identity and the identity of your fellow traders a secret even after your elimination?
I do very much, even from Stacy.
Well, congratulations, you are officially a trader in the game. Happy murdering.
Awesome. I'm excited.
So I want to let you know that there will be three traders officially in the game. I want to
Okay.
know who do you think the other two traders are?
I kind of suspect Brad being another traitor, only because some of the things I heard and kind of with talking to him myself suspect. So I don't know. There's something there. And another traitor, I'm not too sure, but the other traitor I think is Tina, only because she was pushing so hard for Brad to be a traitor.
Okay. Well, before we continue, I'm going to ask you to turn off your camera and
Okay.
mute. And
Okay.
please do not come back on camera until I specifically ask you to turn on your camera.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Right, so you know now the first trader. We are going to be bringing in trader number two. They're just waiting for them to sign on and they'll be coming on. And we will see who will be joining that first trader. They are coming. Don't worry, they are coming. I got a notification. They're just taking their time. Hello, trader. Congrats on being selected as a starting trader for the game. Before we do anything, I need you to take the trader oath. Hopefully you can hear me. All right. Uh,
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can now. Yes, yeah, there we go. There we go. Good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm Central Time, so I didn't think about 4:30. I'm so sorry.
No worries, no worries, no worries. So, do you
Yes.
promise to lie and deceive through the entire game?
Yes, 100%.
Are you willing to murder a fellow player every night?
Yes, I am.
And do you vow to keep your identity and the identity of your fellow traitors a secret, even after your elimination?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations. You are officially a traitor in the game. Happy murdering.
Thank
Uh,
you.
I wanted to
Thank you.
start by letting you know that there will be three traitors officially in the game. Who do you think the other two traitors are?
Okay, so one, I feel like Tina might be. I feel like from what I've gathered from everyone else, he's starting off very strong and putting Brad's name out there. I think that she might be one. I think I've heard that like I don't know if she got killed off earlier the last time. It was a little rough for her. So I think she's starting off strong. Um, Jonathan's a little iffy. I feel like I thought he was a little iffy at first, and I think he might be trying to get in my good graces because he thinks I'm a faithful, or like he knows I'm faithful. I think Tina or Jonathan. I don't have anything on anyone else. I'm not too sure. And yeah, those are my two right now.
All right, wonderful. I'm going to ask you to mute and turn your camera off if you can.
Yes.
Okay,
Give me one
just because
moment. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring in the third traitor. And please, again, do not come on camera until I tell you specifically to come on camera. All right, let's bring in number three. And we'll get if you see number three by your name, you can turn on your camera and unmute. Wonderful. Well, hello, trader.
Hello.
Congratulations on being selected as one of our starting traders of the game. Before we do anything, I do need you to take the traitor oath. So, do you promise to lie and deceive through the entire game?
I do.
Are you willing to murder a fellow player every night?
I will.
And do you vow to keep your identity and the identity of your fellow traitors a secret even after your elimination?
I do.
Congratulations, you are officially a traitor in the game. Happy murdering.
Awesome.
I wanted to let you know that we have three traitors starting off in the game. I want to know, who do you think the other two traitors are?
So, just based off like how the whole challenge went, I am suspecting one of the shield holders right now as being one of the traitors. Um, I'm definitely possibly pegging Jonathan. He's been pretty observant. Uh, I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't be shocked if Victoria is one of the traders. She was very quiet, very like to herself. Could definitely give trader vibes. Um, Daniel as well. Daniel was kind of like he threw like a subtle jab at Jonathan subtly, but it was apparent what he was trying to do. So maybe trader vibes as well. I'm honestly suspecting the shield holders. I could be completely wrong. So
All
I
right.
we're about to find out.
Yes, so we are going to find out. I'm going to quickly change your name back, so we know that, just so that when you go in tonight, it doesn't say three. Perfect. All right, so I am going to ask the person who is number two to turn on their camera and unmute and reveal themselves to Matt.
Hello, Matt.
Ah, fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it. I'm
Oh,
glad though. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I know, me too. When I saw you, I'm like, oh, good, good, okay.
Awesome. All right, and now I'm going
I
to.
also said Jonathan.
All right, well, let's see if you're right.
Sorry.
I'm now going to ask the person who is number one to unmute and reveal themselves.
Oh my God. I would have
Oh,
never guessed.
Hi,
yeah.
guys.
Okay, okay.
Hello.
Hi. Did you have any idea?
I didn't. I didn't.
Nope.
I didn't
No,
tell
Nope.
you, Melissa. I thought you were
no.
like 100%
I,
faithful. I was like, we're gonna work with
Absolutely, I am.
her.
Uh,
Wow.
I'm
I feel
gonna.
like
I
I feel
just
like
want to
we.
say I'm thrilled that you three will be the starting traders for my season two. I see really big things with you three, so I'm going to let you guys just talk for a bit, and then I'm going to come back with some questions. So go ahead and chat.
Well, I definitely didn't think it'd be either one of you two, that's for sure.
I was shitting my pants. Let me tell you something. I was trying my best just to be chill, just
You
relax.
did great. You
Oh,
did great. I was too. I totally thought I'd give it away, but no, I tried.
yeah, Daniel. The only reason why I suspected you was because it was smart the way you did it. It was very quick, very like no one even questioned it. I was like, yeah, I'm with you there. So I kind of
Was
jumped
that
off.
in one of the rooms last night, like in one of the break rooms?
It was.
Okay, because
But
I totally,
I forgot who was in it. I forgot who was in it.
yeah, I
It
was
was
not in.
you and was it? Is his name Cal? Cal?
Oh, Cell.
So
So yeah, and the
Yeah.
thing is, when I was with you guys, I said that too. And when you agreed, I was like, I don't know if you're agreeing because you're faithful or you're agreeing because you're looking for something to jump on too. So I did. I was like,
Matt.
but then I was like, no, he's probably just trying to like agree with me because of faithful. But I didn't think you were. I didn't get the trader vibe for you. And then
wow.
Melissa, I feel like we didn't talk a lot like in small groups. Like we were in a lot of big
Yeah,
groups together. But yeah, I
yeah,
didn't feel like getting a lot of time to talk to you. But it's great to meet you and everything.
yeah. You too. You too.
I think Phil definitely picked three good people. I don't think anybody
Yes.
would even suspect us of working together.
Oh,
Great.
like not at all. Right
Yeah.
now, Tina and
Yeah.
Brad are the ones on the chopping block.
Yes. So, like I
Like,
was telling Matt, I feel like I told Matt and sorry, Sel is his name.
So
yeah.
Sel. I told Matt and Sel about the little Jonathan thing, and then I also talked. I felt bad because me, Brad, and I believe Matt were in a group together originally, and we talked about how like we have not played a game before, like this game before, and so we talked about a group chat. But then as soon as like Lisa, or not Lisa, Tina was talking about
yeah,
throwing Brad's name, I was like, oh shoot.
yeah. I definitely feel like if anybody's like being tied like with Brad with all that stuff going on, if he gets out, whoever's like close to him is gonna get it too. So that's
Oh,
why
absolutely.
I haven't reached out to Brad. I'll be honest. So that's one thing I'm
He's
very wary of.
me.
He's what?
Brad's reached out to me.
Okay.
Me
See,
too.
and he hasn't reached out to me.
Okay, yeah, he's reached out to me, and I kind of sort of went into an alliance with him
Okay.
and one other player, but
Okay.
we'll see how it goes. I'd rather keep him close and keep an eye on him and see what he says of other people because I feel like him and Tina are the most judgy ones,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah. I can agree.
And right, and Jonathan's up there. He's up there for sure.
Yeah.
I would definitely want to continue the rumors and everything of making it appear that Jonathan, Tina, and Brad are the three
Yeah.
traitors.
So Jonathan and I were actually having a good conversation, and he mentioned something. He had mentioned that the people he's played like before with, I think he had mentioned Tina, he had mentioned
Yeah.
Sel, he had mentioned a few people, and he was like, if I get murdered, then those go after those people because those are the people that are trying to get me out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
Good
did
to
mention
know.
that. Yeah, he did mention that. I'll get the names, like the actual names for you guys. I just have to
Yeah, get
give
us
him a
the
message.
names because if we can keep playing it at like subtly
Yeah.
that those guys are the traitors. Oh wait, what, Mom? Obvious what?
What was that?
No, not taking out. Mom's trying to get me
Oh,
to phone her. She loves traitors. She's wanting to
she, she's
do.
like, this is how you
She's
need to
trying to
play.
give me pointers. But like, we don't want to make it too obvious that we're going or flaming the fan or fanning the
yeah.
flames of them. But just here and there, a little bit. But then we also want to pretend they're their friends, like we're
Yeah.
their friend, that
And
they could trust us.
I also feel like Tina has been doing it a lot to Brad anyway, so I don't even think we're gonna have to do
Yeah.
it
No,
much. I feel like at this
they're
point,
doing a
everyone,
real good. Yeah, they're doing a good job on their own.
I think
yeah,
depending on how the roundtable goes, the results of the roundtable is definitely going to affect like at least the next 3 rounds. We can say that.
yeah,
So that's what we
Absolutely.
want to happen. We want to build a narrative in that roundtable if we can, or let the narrative build itself, not even get involved. Just let the fireworks fly, you know?
yeah,
Absolutely. I think
And
we
then
should let it go
it's gonna,
like
yep.
all natural. And
yeah,
if needing, put a little, snippet in there, a little snippet in there if it's starting to die down. But
yeah.
I think it will feed itself.
And
Absolutely.
I think pushing for Tina if we need to later will be pretty easy too because she is one of the three returners, and I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people the consensus is like, oh, one of them has to be a traitor.
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, you
Yeah.
just automatically think that, right? Only because they
Yeah,
have experience.
yeah.
But Phil's crafty.
No, yeah,
So we
for
can
sure.
also think about that too,
Yeah,
right? Be like,
I just yeah, I
hey,
just
they're
feel like
throwing Phil into this conversation.
yeah, I just feel
So
like people it can go either way. Like on one side, they can be like, "Oh, one of them has to be." On the other side, like, "Oh, Phil wouldn't do that," or what if Phil's thinking that we think that he wouldn't do that, so he is doing it, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. It's a
Yeah. We
whole
got, we got to do reverse psychology here.
yeah,
feel as much paranoia as possible, right?
Absolutely. Because honestly, I think he did, or even like Victoria would have been a good choice too, but she is quiet. But I think you have to be, I think Phil did a good job picking us as the traders to start the game off with, because I feel like we're one of the least suspecting ones.
You know what's crazy about you being a trader, Melissa, is like if I was the only trader and I was given the option to recruit somebody, you were definitely
Yeah.
on the list of recruitment. Like I was
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, I was like, because you're chill, you're calm, like you're collected. I was like, if she can maintain that as a trader, she's gonna be solid,
Absolutely.
solid.
I hope I proved that last night that I could.
Yeah, you're chilling. I was like, she has to be faithful. She's not even getting involved that much. Like she doesn't need.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Good. I'm playing a good game then so
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
All right. I'm
Um,
I'm happy with everything.
I did want to say of the returning players, I am actually getting like kind of in good with Anthony. He's
Okay,
definitely
good.
given me a lot of information about last season and a lot about
Awesome.
Nick and Tina. So
Yeah.
I definitely am getting close with him. He's probably somebody that I feel like would be an asset, like in terms of that, because you always have to have that one faithful that is like, I got you
Absolutely.
back. I know I trust you. So I'm definitely
Yeah.
working. I'm working on Anthony a little bit in that
Yeah.
I
sense.
got Brandon.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
working
He's
on him.
great. He's great to have because he's a
Isn't
wild.
he?
He's a
He
wild card.
is. He is.
Yeah, he needs to stay in the game as long as possible. I said it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I got him in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do
Yeah.
you feel like you have anybody, Daniel?
Well, I was gonna say you and Sal. I like you guys a lot. Jonathan, I feel bad because I did genuinely want to play with Jonathan. We didn't get much time to talk at all, like beforehand. And then in the challenge when he slipped him on the shield comment, I was like, damn it. I'm like, I feel like I have to bring that up because whatever to throw suspicion off of me. But then
Yeah.
he messaged me and he was just like, essentially saying like he gets good vibes from me, like he thinks I'm a faithful and this and that. And so I'm talking to him, but I am like purposely like making it seem like to him that I'm keeping a distance from him because I mentioned like, oh, I just want to be honest. Like I did talk to some people and I mentioned this because you slipped up because it was suspicious. And he asked me, oh, do you mind telling me who was in that group? And I was like, honestly, I'm really sorry. I don't want to do that just because I don't know if you're a
Yeah.
traitor or not. And so
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping that he believes that. Hopefully that like
I
brings my level a little down.
Yeah, I feel like everybody is being really close-lipped with their perform like their alliances they're starting right now. It's only night one. This
I
is
was,
night two. Like things will
I was
get turned over.
I
Yeah.
walked into a room once and there was four people in there. I think it was it Tina, Jonathan, Brandon, and someone else. And Tina was saying like, "Oh, everyone in here has played the mole. We should do a mole alliance." And as soon as me and I don't think it was me and Anthony walked in, or me and someone no Anthony played too. So me and someone else. As
Mhm.
soon as we came in, they like immediately changed the subject. And then I remember me saying like, "Oh, like I'll be in it too if you guys want," and no one said anything. They kept talking, and so I was like, "Oh, okay." So I don't know if they're doing a little mole thing, but yeah.
I do
It could
think
be.
I do think Jonathan's definitely high on my radar. Only reason being is because game recognizes game.
Yep.
Like if
He's
I
a
was
risk.
recruiting as a trader, he was on top of my list as well of recruitment because
Yeah.
he's good. He's obviously observant. Every time where we had a chance where it was me, him, and one other person on a
Yep.
camera, like he gives good insight and he's very observant. So
Absolutely.
if we don't have him as a trader, I do think he's going to be like someone we need to get out soon, rather than
Yes.
because it's going to be hard to get him out later.
Absolutely. And I mean, the people that we can pick to even murder tonight is pretty slim.
Yeah.
Well, hi everybody. I'm back. So, I want you to know that I believe the three of you have the great and important skills needed to be wonderful traders in this game. How you play as a trader and as a group of traders is completely up to you. Most importantly, I do want you to all consider how to get yourself to the end of the game and win that cash prize pot. But enough about that right now. I do have some questions for you that I would like you guys to answer as a group. So first, I was just wondering how you actually are all feeling about being a trader in the game.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, yeah. I said it. If I wasn't a trader, then people would probably get me out sooner,
Yeah.
just because.
Did
Uh,
any of you suspect
I,
any of the other traders? Did you suspect at all anybody? And do you feel surprised that there's not somebody here?
I'm
Well,
surprised
I
one of the
guess
returnings are here.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. I wasn't expecting one of the returning players. Daniel had a little bit of sus of you just because of that little thing. Melissa, no sus of you at all, obviously.
Awesome. Okay, what is your starting game plan to get to the end of the game?
well, I don't know, like if I can speak for the guys too. I'm thinking that we are just going to kind of keep whatever momentum going for the story play that's running out right now,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of keep that playing out for as long as we can, really, to keep the suspicion off of us and onto the others.
Fanning the flames. Yep, like you said.
Yeah.
Yep.
So really, a lot of our work's already done.
Yeah,
A lot of it
yeah,
was done last night. A lot of it was
yeah.
done.
Like I said before, I feel like we can just go off of like again, Tina's kind of being really open right now with what she thinks, especially about Brad, and so I feel like we can kind of sit back for a little bit and wait for that to kind of cause
Yeah.
destruction.
Yeah. I'm 100% confident going to the table tonight that none of us will get picked.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned Tina. How about Anthony and Stick? How do the returning players factor into your game, if at all?
I
So
think it'll be very good resources.
so I will say I've been down playing. I've actually watched the whole first season of Phil's game. I've seen how all three of them play. I know the kind of player Stick is, and there's a reason why she thrived as a trader. She's a Survivor player. I don't know if you guys know this. So she plays Survivor heavy. So when we're talking about like on the spot strategizing, getting shit done, that is Stick. So
Oh yeah.
she's definitely somebody that I'm gonna try to get good with eventually. Just because like I wouldn't want her to like throw sus on me because she's the kind of person where if she throws sus, she's throwing it for a reason. That's how she
Yeah.
played before she was a traitor. And she
Yeah.
called out, I'm gonna be honest, she called out like one of the best traders in that season. And
Oh wow.
she got cut. So
We
I
played
was gonna.
Survivor together, so she's smart.
yeah.
I didn't get a lot of time with her. I honestly pegged her as the opposite. I didn't realize she was like more of like a louder, like direct player. So
Give it
I'm glad I
time.
know this now. I'm glad I
Yeah.
know this now.
You won't miss
Okay,
it. You'll hear it tonight.
got it. Okay.
But Anthony, I get such genuine vibes. Like I knew right away when he was telling me he's a faithful. I was like, yeah, dude, you're a total faithful. But you know what?
Yeah.
You're gonna be faithful to the traders. Is what we're
Yeah.
gonna be.
Yeah. Absolutely. And if he could be a traitor, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Adam, Brad, Jonathan, Victoria, and Daniel all
Yeah.
have shields.
I knew
Yeah.
one of you had to be a traitor. I knew it.
So I'm wondering, would any of those people been in danger tonight of being murdered? Were there any of them somebody that you might consider murdering as your first murder?
For me, Brad.
I think it would be better to kind of keep him in because there's
I
that whole
know.
fourth.
It's a toss up. As
I
me playing as a faithful, I would say Brad.
yeah,
If me playing as a traitor, I want to keep him in.
got you. I see
It
what
was
you.
a faithful, that is who I would vote for tonight. But as a traitor, I actually am voting. Well, we'll see what you guys say.
I also am glad that Jonathan and Victoria have shields because I wouldn't want to get rid of them either. Jonathan already has us on him, and I feel like that kind of spread a little bit. And Victoria, I didn't get to talk to her at all. People were saying she's kind of on the quieter side, but she seems nice, and I just feel like people were like, I think we'd want to keep her for a little later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to talk to her. She is pretty nice.
yeah.
How does the mystery power factor into your game?
That's an unknown.
So I actually talked to Matt and Mel yesterday, and we were kind of discussing a little, just briefly, on what we think it is. And I was like, well, one idea I had was maybe you get protected next time for being murdered and being banished. Or I thought I'm like maybe it's some kind of seer power. I know it's very early, but since Phil, you mentioned like that we can't. That I think did you say the final seven on that we're not going to reveal?
Or round seven on? Yeah.
So okay, yeah. So I was like maybe it has something to do with the seer power early. I know in the show they did it the final five, but I know a thing like amongst like the fans, they were saying, oh, they should do it earlier, do it a different way. So I was thinking maybe that has something to do with what we might be doing or what the secret power is.
Yeah.
Better than my guess.
I just thought an extra vote or like a vote blocker or something like some simple.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So for tonight's murder, or today's murder, what factors are going through your head on what would make a smart first murder?
So I think we should think about who who do we think we can like who do we think can add sus to themselves just being themselves further down the line where they're an easy vote. Right. So
We want to keep those for now.
someone that I thought of was Caleb. Caleb seemed he was quiet, very quiet,
Yeah.
damn near
Yes.
traitor quiet. Like
Yes.
so, I think if we stay off of him, I think he's gonna get the vote anyway in the round table because people are gonna see it for themselves that he's not quiet, he's to himself. He doesn't really engage in conversations, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think keeping him off, like not murdering him, would be smarter at this time.
I can see that. I and I have the same opinion about Sal or Gel. How
Yeah.
do you say his name?
Chell,
So,
Chell,
Sal.
Chell.
Chell.
Chell. So
Oh,
that's kind of my same sentiments about Caleb as I have for Chell. I never even got, I don't even think I said hi to him last night
Yeah.
or had a chance to.
So, and we're actually in a group chat with him, Daniel. So that's somebody that we at least have some ends with. And it's so funny. He was so
yeah.
worried, huh? He was so worried that he would be the first boo.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, when he was
Yes.
messaging, he was like, "I would be surprised if I'm not the first murdered." I was like,
Mhm.
Really?
"Yeah." So it's almost
He's on my radar.
like, do you think he's
Yeah.
probably like testing us, Daniel? Like, oh, if I survive, then one of them's definitely the traitor. Like, I don't know.
When he
That
said
would
that, I'm
definitely
serious.
come
I
to,
was thinking, I was like, if people are faithfuls, I'm like, should I murder one of them? Like what? Like I wasn't sure how to go about that. So man, I'm kind of happy that you are a traitor with me. So it's like,
Yeah,
we can decide it together.
hey, don't
yeah.
forget about me.
Well, yeah, yeah. Of
Oh,
course,
I'm sorry. I meant in reference to the group chat.
in that
Sorry,
group
it's because
chat.
I
me,
got
him,
you. I got
and Chuck
you.
in a group chat. I'm sorry, Melissa. I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry.
So who else would be at risk? What
You're fine.
Patrice and Brandon also would be at risk.
Yeah, yeah.
I did
Brandon
have
for
a good
sure should
chat with
stay.
them.
Yeah, Brandon's got to stay. That's
Brandon's got to stay. I need him for intel.
so.
And
Then
I actually formed an alliance with Patrice and Brandon.
that's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just be completely honest with y'all. You guys are like my alliance members now, like my day one alliance members now.
Yep.
There was a group chat created with me, Patrice, and Anthony.
Okay.
So they wanted to like kind of get together. Anthony basically had this thing in the first season where he trusted two guys, and all
Yeah.
three just so happened to be faithfuls, but because one of them turned on the other, Anthony was caught in the middle, and basically that alliance imploded. But had they stuck together, they would have definitely caught the traitors sooner. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm definitely playing up that angle too with him, like just hearing him out, like, damn, that sucks, man. So we're kind of like getting in that group together.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I and what I wouldn't want is for us to murder Patrice and then Anthony's just like, oh, what the hell? Like, and then the
Yeah.
gears start clicking, like, wait a minute,
I know. I
Yeah,
think each of us are still firing an alliance with almost everyone that will be the way of thinking of whoever we murder.
Right, right.
All right, so you guys have sort of identified the four players that are available to be murdered tonight. Um,
Mhm.
so Brandon, Chell, Caleb, and Patrice. So I'm going to turn off my camera and let you guys discuss. You don't have to come up with an answer yet, but I'd like you to discuss all four and the pros and cons as to why you might want to get rid of them.
Okay.
Sure. So I mean, we could start with an easy one, Brandon. Pros of
Yeah.
keeping him. There's so much
Yeah.
chaos, so much uncertainty.
Absolutely.
He's
team
gonna
talker.
Absolutely.
he's gonna take so many eyes off of us. That,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
and then the only con I could think of is, you know, if he just so happens to target his energy on us. That's the only con I could think.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
Okay, so, but I have him in my pocket already, so I'm thinking I can
Yeah.
hold him off.
that's
Yeah.
perfect. That's
I'm
perfect.
just ner I'm just nervous once Jonathan goes because I know Brennan was very on Jonathan as soon as they came into the Zoom room. And so
Yeah.
I'm just nervous that when Jonathan leaves, he is going to shift on to somebody else. And if that's one of us, I'm just, yeah, nervous about
I'll
that.
help. I'll help keep him away from at least us three anyway.
Brandon was also throwing Brad's name out. I should mention that's another thing. So
Did that come from Tina, do you think, or was it just on his
no, I
own?
heard Tina talking about it first. I
Okay.
heard
So
talking
I
about
think
it.
it really caught fire when Tina was telling me, and I can't even remember who was all in the room, but Tina was saying about how Brad runs these kind of games too and all that kind of stuff,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then I was in a group with Brad, and Brad was playing stupid, how he didn't even know how to switch rooms, break rooms in Zoom. And I
Yes.
noticed
So
that,
that
and I
so that was
admit
an act.
that that was, I think, the tipping point of the whole Brad Tina thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I,
So,
I, I don't want to. Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so Brandon's for sure safe.
So
We're
that's
not
pros
going to
and
kill
cons.
him.
Let's go. Let's do Patrice next.
I
So
am in alliance with
Personally,
Brandon.
same
What do
minimum.
you think, Daniel?
I'm not gonna lie. If like coming into this, Patrice was my one to kill, but since you guys are good with him, obviously I'm totally fine with keeping him. I didn't get a chance to talk with him like that. I did
Yeah.
love his dogs, and so that
Yeah.
was great, but I didn't get any really chance to talk with him. So,
Yeah.
So let
of
me
course, I'm cool
so
with
let me
keeping
ask
him.
you guys, from outsider looking in, looking at a player like Patrice, would you peg him as a faithful?
Yes.
I would, yes,
Yeah.
with the potential to turn.
So I think one thing about him is you could tell he's kind of that guy that kind of has his back to the wall, kind of watching things go down, but
Yeah.
he does respond when he knows he needs to, you
Yes.
know. So I do see him as
Mhm.
like a voice of, reason when it comes to the
Yeah.
roundtables. That's my perception of him. So I do think he's
Yep.
going to be a strong voice when it comes to those round tables. So if we have that voice on our side, that's
Yeah.
better for us. But if we don't, that could be an issue.
Yeah. And since you and I already
Yeah.
have an alliance with them, I think he should stay.
I agree.
That leaves Caleb and Joe.
So I see them essentially the same.
Mhm.
Like Melissa, you had touched up on it. They're
Yeah, I
both
do too.
quiet,
So
both
I'm
observant.
happy with either or.
I think Chell made it pretty.
I personally
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say that because I was kind of hyping Chell up when me and him sacrificed ourselves in that first challenge. Because
Mhm.
Yeah.
he really was convincing that he was holding off. Like he wanted that shield. That was the faithful trying his
Yeah.
damnedest to get a shield. So it did come
Yeah.
off like obvious that he was a faithful. So that's one
Yeah.
thing I wanted to mention. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
Mhm. I was gonna
Mm.
say, out of those four, Chell, obviously me, you, and Chell are in a group chat, Matt, and I would want to keep him in just because like he's someone who's there. But I do understand your point of saying that like him overplaying the fact that he kept saying like, oh, if I'm not murdered, if I'm not murdered, if I'm not murdered, maybe that is gonna cost us on us. And he might think that we're a traitor.
It could be me overthinking it too. I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah, and I
It's
was
it's
fine. I
it's
personally would prefer to murder Caleb over Chell, but obviously it's a group decision, so I understand if you guys want to do otherwise.
I'm just trying to think who would be the safer bet to murder tonight that's safer for us down the road.
Hmm.
And you guys bring it up often that if you don't murder Chell, he's automatically going to think maybe one of you guys is a traitor, right?
Hmm. I
yeah.
understand
So
that. Yeah.
murder him, that takes us off of you because Chell could be saying that shit to other people that he thinks it might be the one or two. Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah, absolutely
Caleb
right.
so far has said nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah, Caleb's tight-lipped, and I don't know why he gives first boot vibes. Caleb gives first boot vibes. Like
Right.
I don't know. Even me trying to talk to him, like I wasn't getting much. He's like one of those like one word, two word answers, you
I
know?
Yeah.
with him last night too. And I don't know. Only because I haven't talked to Chell, I would choose Chell over Brandon. What
Got
do
you.
you want to do?
At this point, I'm fine with that.
You're
If
fine
it's
with
Chell,
you want to do
yeah.
Chell?
Yeah, I just,
Do I?
especially for you two down the road.
Because that's what I'm thinking about, Daniel. That's truthfully what I'm thinking about.
Okay, well,
It
before
felt
you
sorry.
make your decision, I'm just gonna say, viewers, who will be the first to be murdered? We'll find out tomorrow night, and how will my new group of traders work together in the game? We'll see how day 2 plays out.